What do you want to do with your life? Seriously, what the fuck do you want to do with your life? Do you want to subscribe? Do you want to be a member of 1,000 other people's fantasy and dreams and try and create that and wonder why you're not satisfied with it? Or do you want to be the person that you believe you can be? Because you can. You just got to fucking put your mind to it, bloke. People talk about dreams and satisfaction and all that sort of stuff. If you're ever satisfied, you've lost your ability to dream. If you're ever happy with any one thing that you've done, then you've lost your ability to dream. Then you've achieved your dream, so you should therefore be happy. If you've never ever reached that point of satisfaction, well, guess what? You ain't doing what you should be. You should be striving to grow. You should be striving to learn more. You should be striving to experience everything that you're comfortable with and a little bit that you're not comfortable with either. I started playing football last year and holy fuck, it was a hell of an experience. And then I had the opportunity to play Northern River Arena football, and that was great. I had to give up the drugs, I had to give up the alcohol, I had to give up a lot of things to achieve that, and I was using the drugs and the alcohol as a mask, as a cover to, I guess, actually I've stumped myself. I guess I was using it to quiet the fact that I could be good at anything, like I could do whatever I wanted to do. In saying that, I'm sitting here driving a fucking tractor right now, but what I'm getting at is I set goals and I achieve them and they make me happy. $1 million isn't going to make me happy ever. Money has never made me happy. It might make you happy. You might want to be really, really successful. I like to make other people happy. I like to make other people feel relevant. I like to make other people feel special, because they are. Everyone's special. All people are special. They can't see it, because the person that looks back at them in the mirror isn't the person that everyone else sees. I watched a video of me skiing for the first time 2 days ago. I've practiced slalom skiing for a fucking long time, and I couldn't believe that I can ski like that. Like when I'm doing it, it doesn't feel like that, but you know, to look at it, yeah, it's impressive, but I'm not satisfied with that. I'm not happy until that's perfect, and that should be whatever you're doing. Whether you're making a fucking photocopy or whether you're trying to build a replica of the Leaning Tower of Pisa out of crayons, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're doing, do it so that you're happy with it. Don't do it because you're going to break the world record for Crayola fucking Towers of Pisa. You know, do it because you will get satisfaction out of it. Do it because you believe that it's going to make you happy, or someone, you know, no, not someone. Do it because it's going to make you happy. Fuck someone, because chances are someone isn't going to live with you and help you pay your fucking rent. Chances are someone isn't going to give a fuck when, you know, you're down and out. They'll get around you when you're all lit up and you feel great and everything's great and your energy's great and everyone's all around you. When you slide into a pit of depression and bog your tractor, when you slide into that pit of depression, people will run from you, and you cannot blame them for that. That is a defense mechanism. When people are running from your depression, it's because they're scared to bring that on themselves. It's almost like a sickness. They feel that maybe depression, not consciously, subconsciously, they feel that maybe depression is like the Ebola virus or something like that they can catch it, that it's contagious. It's just a natural reaction. You can't hate people for that. What I'm saying is, the clingers on, the hangers on, they're not actually hanging on to you to use you. They're hanging on to you, well, yeah, to use you, but it's not a negative thing. It's more of a, when you're cold, you stand next to a fire. When you're depressed, you go and stand next to somebody's. When you're in awe of somebody, they make you feel better because they feel good about themselves. It's when you're hot, you put the air conditioner on. So, you know, when you're not succeeding, look at those that are succeeding in whatever you want to do. Like I said, it could be in porn, I don't know, whatever you want to do, but don't ever sell yourself to live somebody else's dream. That's the point I'm trying to make. Do not ever sell yourself to live somebody else's dream. I had a girlfriend for 4.5 years. I was in love with her. I was going to marry her. I thought for all the world that she was the one for me, and she was fucking around on me for 2 years. But that's not my lesson. That's her lesson. My lesson is I knew I had feelings. I didn't know I had feelings, and I had these pent up feelings in my guts that something wasn't right. Like there was just something not quite right, and there was no signs. Like our sex life didn't die off. I was having a lot of trouble with depression, and with to try and alleviate the fact that I was going to have to go and deal with it at some point. I took a lot of drugs. I drank a lot of piss. I drank a lot of piss. I don't believe that got in the way of our relationship. She was using just as much as I was using. That's probably the reason that she went and got the ass fucked off her so that she could keep feeding her habit, because I ended up, football I thank for that, I ended up, going cold turkey, completely sober, no alcohol, no drugs, no anything for the entire football season, but she was still going out and partying and blah, 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 blah. This ain't a bad me, sad me thing. This is the fact that throughout the process, she'd forgotten what we agreed upon in the start of our relationship, which was we would never ever cheat on the other, which I guess was her desperate cry for attention. We would never ever cheat on anyone because it would hurt so much to have that happen to you that you might as well be dead. Like it was agreed upon by us that it was a shit thing, and B, that we never ever let anybody else into our relationship. That it was our relationship. As long as we knew where we're at, let them speak. As long as we were happy with us, let them speak. If we weren't happy with something but they were, well, fuck them. We weren't happy with it, so we're not doing it. So we were a team, and essentially, I actually had no idea right up until, like I said, I had feelings in my guts, but they weren't. I never got suspicious. I never used to go through a phone. I never did any of that sort of stuff. So, yeah, but the lesson here is she sold herself because a bloke that I was close to at the time, who we fell out over, he just is who he is, and that's whatever. Must have been telling her that I wasn't the one for her, and I'm a junkie and need to get away from me. I'm bringing her down, and which would have been good advice had she not been more inebriated than myself. Like, had she not been well and truly 100% drug fucked, and I was only 95. No, you know what I mean? Like, she was using a lot more than I was, and but when people are giving you advice and telling you stuff, you don't tend to always be completely honest with them. Like, he was telling her under what he thought. He thought it was me taking the drugs, it was me doing the abusive behaviour, it was me not providing it. It was me, it wasn't me. She just never came forward with that. So when he was giving the advice, he was under the pretense that I was just another abusive male in a relationship, and took that on board, and then let that manifest and let it fester inside her until she broke finally, and then started lashing out. Like I said, it could have been a cry for attention, but she sold herself. She sold herself for tyranny, like for somebody else's idea. Like, form your own ideas, be original, don't fuck people around, but don't let other people's thoughts influence your outcome. Like I said, you might be happy driving a tractor, you might be happy brushing horses, you might be happy riding horses, you might be happy water skiing, you might be happy climbing mountains and painting pictures for a living. What I'm saying is, don't let anybody change your vision. You know your vision, you have your vision. Don't let anyone change that. Let them guide you, let them show you, let them offer you advice, but do not ever close the doors on your vision, because from the time you were 2 years old, I guarantee you knew. From the time you were 10 years old, you knew. From the time you were 18 years old and started getting inebriated and fucked up, you still knew. It's when you close off and you let those other people start influencing your decisions that you will lose your happipiness. And I lost it. I attempted suicide. I did the whole lot, the whole 9 yards. It's bad, but do not let other people's, well, I've got the saying, Other people's decisions and opinions are not our cross to bear. They are not yours to bear. That's their cross. Their opinion is their cross. Their decisions are their cross. They're not ours. Don't let other people fuck with your dream, your goal, your destiny. Let's use all those really emotive, powerful words. I'm going to call it your thing. Don't let people fuck with your thing.